I canceled the wedding that I was fully paying for after my stepdaughter, Linda, insisted on having her deadbeat father walk her down the aisle. On top of that, I'm now considering divorcing her mom. Now, both Linda and her mother are begging me to reconsider. Hello Reddit I+ here. It was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, and maybe it still would be, but not in the way anyone expected. I stood at the back of the event hall, the glossy white chairs meticulously arranged in rows, each adorned with lavender bows that matched the bridesmaids' dresses. The faint sound of classical music played from the string quartet, and the smell of fresh roses filled the air. This wedding, meticulously planned down to the last detail, was a culmination of a year of hard work and over $50,000 of my money. Linda, my fiancé's 26-year-old daughter, was the bride today. When I married Karen 3 years ago, Linda had been wary of me. She was fiercely protective of her mother, Karen, after the disaster that was her biological father, Mark. Mark was, in Karen's words, a deadbeat. He'd walked out on them when Linda was only 5 and hadn't shown up for a single milestone since. I did my best to step into that role, even though Linda didn't make it easy. I funded her college tuition, helped her buy her first car, and was there when she graduated, clapping the loudest in the audience. I thought, eventually, we'd built some semblance of trust. But then came this wedding. Linda had been engaged for 6 months, and I'd spared no expense in making her dream wedding a reality. From the luxurious venue to the 5-tier cake to the designer gown, I gave her everything she asked for. I wasn't just funding it. I was emotionally invested. I imagined myself sitting proudly at the head table, toasting to the happy couple as I stood next to Karen. Then, 3 weeks before the wedding, Linda dropped the bomb. At a family dinner, over dessert no less, she cleared her throat and said, "So, I've made a decision about the wedding." Her voice was casual, like she was announcing the color of the napkins. "I want my dad to walk me down the aisle." The silence was deafening. I could feel Karen's eyes darting to me, full of panic. My fork froze mid-air. "Excuse me?" I asked, my tone sharper than I intended. "My dad," Linda repeated with that same nonchalant air. "It just feels right. He's my father, after all." It took every ounce of self-control not to explode. "The same father who hasn't been in your life for over 20 years? The one who couldn't even be bothered to send you a birthday card?" Linda's eyes flickered with defiance. "He's still my dad." "And what am I?" I asked, my voice rising. "What about everything I've done for you? Everything I've paid for to make this day perfect?" Karen tried to interject. "Honey, let's not—" "No, Karen," I interrupted. "I think I deserve an explanation." Linda crossed her arms. "I'm grateful for what you've done, but this is about my day. It's not about you." That stung, badly. I looked at Karen for support, expecting her to back me up, but all she said was, "Let's talk about this later." We didn't. The next few weeks were a blur of escalating tension. I tried to rationalize Linda's decision, tried to make peace with it, but every time I imagined that man, the one who had abandoned her and Karen, strolling down the aisle as if he were a hero, my blood boiled. The final straw came 2 days before the wedding. I overheard Linda talking to her maid of honor on the patio. "Honestly, I just wish my mom would divorce him already," she said, not realizing I was standing just a few feet away. "He's so controlling, and I hate how he thinks he can buy everyone's love." Controlling? Buying love? Was that how she saw me? That night, I sat Karen down. "This wedding isn't happening," I said flatly. Karen blinked, confused. "What are you talking about?" "I mean, I'm not paying for it. I'm canceling the venue, the caterers, everything. If Linda wants her deadbeat father to walk her down the aisle, he can also foot the bill." Karen's face turned pale. "You can't be serious." "Oh, I've never been more serious," I replied. "I've bent over backward for her, Karen. I've treated her like my own, and she's made it very clear she doesn't see me that way. Why should I fund a wedding where I'm nothing more than a bystander?" Karen tried to argue, but I'd already made up my mind. The next morning, I called every vendor and canceled. Some deposits were non-refundable, but I didn't care. When Linda found out, she was livid. "You're ruining everything!" she screamed, tears streaming down her face. "No," I said calmly. "You ruined everything when you disrespected me." Karen, caught in the middle, begged me to reconsider. "You're punishing me and Linda for something that can be worked out," she pleaded. "Don't do this." But my resolve didn't waver. "This isn't just about the wedding, Karen, it's about respect. Linda doesn't respect me, and clearly, neither do you, if you think I should just let this slide." The day of the canceled wedding, Karen and Linda showed up at my office looking defeated. Linda, for the first time, seemed genuinely remorseful. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I didn't realize how much I was hurting you." Karen chimed in. Please, let's fix this. We can reschedule the wedding. I'll pay for it myself if I have to. I looked at them both, my heart heavy. This isn't just about the money, I said. It's about the principle. Linda, if you want your father in your life, that's your choice. But don't expect me to play second fiddle. And Karen, if you can't stand by me when I'm being disrespected, maybe we need to rethink our marriage. The room fell silent. Linda eventually got married, but not on my dime. Karen and I went to therapy to work through the cracks this incident had revealed in our relationship. As for Mark, he disappeared again, just like I knew he would. Sometimes, standing up for yourself costs you everything, but it's worth it, because self-respect is priceless.